Thank you, bro. Talk about this stuff. Yeah, sand is very challenging. But not in a fun way, but more of a, I want to pull my hair out. Great mess. But I'll explain. When you're not preparing with a chair, you're forced to wear that stupid fucking helmet. You can barely hear shit. You're constantly being forced to stop what you're doing and go to stop. Good point, but the map is absolutely iconic. I can't put it anywhere on the nature. 8 years is way too fucking high to move. This map is overrated as fuck. The only positive is the Easter egg, which is cool when the stars actually align for you to get everything you need to do it. Waiting for excavator 5 to reach Tunnel 6 wastes more time than Sleepy Joe's inauguration at Tunnel 5. What did you shut up? At least I didn't lie. I know you're not shit talking one of the alternate paths. Yeah, seriously, Donald, this should have been a quick one to get through. Are you saying something? Terrific. He would have loved to college dropout. The only one taking an L today is you losers who can't recognize greatness. I mean, for example, transiting you. Bigger means better. And don't get me started on the wonder weapon. It actually requires skill to use. It's not overpowered to physically. And we're never going to follow Max Richard. Even your big little knock. Here's what you're listening to this malarkey. Just drop in there after burying us. Okay, Newtown Zombie stuff now. Newtown is pretty boring. Yeah, we got great in the country. What's the problem? God. Plus no wonder weapon. Drop this shit in deep tier where it belongs. Listen, next up is dialogue.
These days, the best known out happens when you house. Start filling George the Blackman.
But aren't you forgetting something, George? For the Easter egg, you have to play with little mahjong tiles like an old white one. And this map is possibly the worst first episode too.
I mean, the beastly thing with those spots.
Oh, and it takes place in China.
That's China. Yeah, but sorry.
You can all agree that Top of the Dead is an easy S tier?
Yeah.
Everything. Very. You know, this map takes place in the continent of Africa, Morocco. Does it remind you of home? Let's see your birth certificate. How about we see your birth certificate to prove you're not the one with kid boys and right up there? I agree wholeheartedly about the weak Morocco. I think the map is easy. It's like Bates first zombies map, the paralyzed first shows them. Easy, try getting you to a higher level of this map. It's not easy. You have to build the building, knowing your stuff. Like a skill, this map is a solid thing too. I was looking over to the secret. I was leaving here. I can't stand this map. Especially Leroy, his big dumb ass, you have to coach the champion. Similar to Jones. Fuck me, dumb. And his name is Arthur, not Leroy.
all night I said, he didn't really he was on very long and he still had lots of math to do. Finally, I took the board. Yeah, I really so that was the method. First match, like the director Black Ops 3, but it's the way that. It used to be cool when it was about secret Nazi experiments and shit like that. But the love shot the method just made an already complicated story that much more hard to follow. I mean, I get that the Black Ops 3 storytelling wasn't that hard to follow. Even though it was a lot different. The zombies was always like that. Just a lot of listening to walking around and it almost. Yeah, one day was the aesthetic of the 1920s was perfect, especially the sound effects. The beast mode mechanic was spin on Afterlife Ghost, The Mom of the Dead, which this man shares a lot of similarities. And so that there, Black Ops 3 is the best game in terms of gameplay, so the massive military government. The Atomic serve as a fun wonder with marble, parasites, and meatball are unique enemies to spice up the gameplay as well as enemies. Also, kept up the Bloodborne amongst the characters. So do we agree on Insecure Shadows? Sure, I think you said that. Next up is DE. There, Ice Rocket, one of the greatest maps ever known. For sure, because they're medieval castle. And as we all know, I'm a sucker for medieval castles. I do like the Wonder Weapon now. I've seen company. Yo, that's a good use of slow lines. Never built it. They just pull up another awful guy and build the building go next time. Come on. This map had an amazing Easter egg for MC1. That ending cutscene still gets to me. And the first ever boss fight in zombies was on this map. It deserves S tier. Well, actually, the first boss fight in zombies was against the odds, and so the zombies descend. Just saying. I know you didn't just come and act words about Exodus zombies. But you pretend that shit doesn't exist for us. Well, I know your side likes to spread misinformation about it. Just had to put that out there. Don't just put their eyes about it and investigate it. Exactly what this map sucks. Well, I agree with the stuff down quality, but it's that bad. Isn't that bad? The map is ugly as shit. The Easter egg is tedious and not fun. The boss fight is barely a boss fight at all. The process of getting the tasty skill is not fun. Special monkey in pretty art history. So where are you supposed to put it down on that name? Just hear myself. Nobody likes this map. Well, I think you're just shitting on it because some zombies YouTubers told you it wasn't fun to listen to them, but the spiders scare me so deep here. Well, this doesn't put me on. Think it is then. Next is Garage Kroger. I hate this map. Dragons don't belong in COD Zombies. I mean, it is kind of ridiculous, but the map itself is pretty fun, and there's two boss fights. Ultimus Nikolai is really hilarious on this map, too. The big negative for me is the Easter egg being really annoying. Some of those challenges are just not fun, or they're not like frustrating. And the Wonder Weapon is not that good on time. Got a bunch of these kind of big no cap and two starting going and stuck, and the dragon constantly breathing fire down from your training spot. Don't fuck with John. Something good. He'll come after you. Let that little people come after me. I don't fucking care. Garage is overrated. I'm the worst man by any means, and I never go back to play. I still think it's a solid thing. It's flawed. It's still a great map. I mean, Donald, you should love it. It takes place in Russia after all. Set up with the Russian host, you know. What about the Russian host? I think it's fun. Didn't see it again. Yeah, I like to see it. Next to a fun, supervising the city. Only way your new grass never makes you come out of it. If you guys talk about that Easter egg, though, tied up to the regular spiders around town. Oh, it's still favorite school. Revelation is literally a copy of another man. There was nothing in gameplay-wise to the formula. No Wonder Weapon, especially during the play. Those ones are sort of
Wow!
The likes of which you could never fathom. Your lard ass couldn't hit a stationary target.
Come to Mar-a-Lago, I'll square up, Jordan. You neocon pussy.
Gentlemen, we gotta get through Rio Costa. Just relax.
Oh, no, mind you. Black Ops 4, such a refuge.
Mac was right. The Spectres wasn't dead. It's hard to get a 200 Texans. That's where the crowd gets from. It suffers the same problems our Black Ops 4 has to. The herd system is ass. Something expensive at the open is a big step down from the specific end of the Black Ops 3 that made a bit and my local Thundercat is back with a new variant.
No, sleepy Joe. The only blunder here is your entire presidency. They nerfed the blunder gas and had to get smart. Because we only had one equipment slot, they removed the plane, added a moving pack-a-punch, and even retconned a lot of the great lore that Mob of the Dead had. Immediate F tier. We pretend this shit doesn't exist too.
I got a dream as a certified Mob of the Dead into it and how they fucked up and they everyone wanted to notice. I can't help but cry when I think about it. Okay, calm down, George. It's what you get. Still, let's get those opinions go to you. I'm dropping but I also really enjoy how Pack-a-Punch is in doing ways. You want how to do it. That's the dump of his mouth. Big fear. So I would have to face
The first came out and I skipped on the screen.
I don't see trying to go into the process. But for good enough, I would still say it's a B tier, one of the better Black Ops 4 ether maps.
Okay, B tier it is then. Next up is one of my favorites, Voyage of Despair. Seriously, you like this shit that was funny thing? I know you're on that, probably on the Titanic when it's done, but this map layout is horrendous. There's way too many second zombies, right? The Kraken and its very stuff lost, and it needs to make
Well, the boss fight is what's going on.
better part of me shit goes down or else you're fucked.
Guys, let's just move on. Next up is 9.
Well, everyone knows I hate chaos. It's all that. Not as hyped up as people say. I mean, the layout is just as simple as it is today, but I really enjoy the aesthetic of the map. The gladiators and tigers are pretty interesting enemies.
Let's talk about the Easter egg. I think it's pretty decent, although some of the steps are kind of out there, like collecting dust.
Yeah, not sure what that's about. But at the end, you get to fight not one, but two motherfucking zombie elephants. I respect them. Probably the best chaos.
That's what I'm talking about, Donald. See if we can agree on something. And not to mention Donald is thinking another betting event 745. That's the Easter egg song. Glad that didn't take long and we all agreed.
Oh, I'm sure Joe is about to tell us how much he loves Jeff. What a show, man. Whoever would have thought we could kill her, kind of fucking Dracula and the wolf man. So sad. And I'm sure my coaching of this today, like you made me video every time I play something. Not to mention opening hackathons is tedious and monotonous.
I do like the dark and gloomy atmosphere. The silver bullets are a unique attack, and the officer's spine is as strong as hell wonder weapon, with a fun upgrade plan.
If I phone up for a request, you'd be fucking stupid. I mean, this is like... I got stuff selling them. Maybe I'll drop it.
Fine, we'll meet in the middle of secrets and yell at the police. Next is ancient. Probably the peak of the chaos story. I want to do the end as well.
Yeah, I can't believe some of the things are really getting interesting to end of it. But at least we got that kiss between Medusa and Star during the cutscene.
That shit was pretty hot, I'm gonna lie.
I mean, this map was goofy as fuck like all the chaos, but I do like the wonder weapon. My favorite is probably the anti-cannon. The shield is pretty dope, and the Easter egg is actually really something fun.
They hit the hard stuff again, the
Yeah, totally. Can you settle on 8 years for people to move? Bye back. Sure thing, Joe. Oh, I thought his name was Avocado this whole time.
You got the electric, it's named after a fruit.
Joe, so what do you like about outdoor racing? Joe, wake the fuck up. I'm sorry for that.
We just dropped Alpha Omega and F2. That's what you missed. On to tag to the program. Playing Victor's again is nice too. We don't have to play this.
Someone's a pretty more bad idiot. The court straight up fucked up.
Let's start talking about tag. I, for one, hate how they killed off Primus and Ultimus. It felt so out of character for Nikolai to do his friends like that, even if it had to happen. It was anticlimactic.
I say since our opinions are over, we stick it firmly in the middle at C tier. Oh boy, the Cold War zombies, my favorite. More like Cold Store zombies. Yeah, I don't like the wars though. Every map in this game is the same. There's some lines inside of the map's Wonderland and an Easter egg. Plus they put a step back and front. I love not but I like it doing that. That's my character. He's a good player. That was okay, but the scene of Firebreathing ziggly dances is kind of cringe. Not to mention, we never got the transit remake we deserve. I mean, think about it. Nobody's going to be playing Firebreathing 2 to 5 years from now. I say we lump all of them into F tier.
Now, hold your horses, kiddo, man. Hold your one is still fun and run a lot of these players to the game, even if it did lose a lot of the personality that zombies had before. I said it's been one more credit for that.
Okay, for Firebreathing, there's Treyarch's map along with transit. Don't you dare to finish.
Okay, well, those maps are definitely gone in the past, but Peter, Steve, and Howard are chosen are genuinely a good movie. Please let's go to the beat here, please. Okay, we can do that.
This shit is more rigged than the 2020 election. Those maps are horrible too.
I'm not going to say that it's really good on this thing. It's fell up and accept it. He's going to accept it and then get your way. What about options?
Zombies. Not real zombies, just multiplayer maps and zombies.
I gotta agree. Outbreak really isn't what you expect out of zombies. Rather than here.
I can live with that. I enjoy it, but it's not for everyone.
Okay, well, let's say it. That's all that we're talking about people, but I know that that's the open now that we need here too. So let's drop that too.
Well, this year this is more person I would like, but overall this is pretty fun.
I think things are definitely all over the place, but we still managed to make it clear that the definitely is good. How about the different people? It's fucking good. All right, let's show these undead fuckers what happens when you mess with the presidential game days. Former President Obama here saying thank you for all the fun.
Come up here for great lease and financing offers. Kia, movement that inspires.
Welcome back. All right, so this is a day video from 5 people on the internet for your Friday, August the 15th. Talked to my wife a bit ago. Looks like she won't be home until probably the middle of next week. So she's going to be in the hospital for a while. The good news being she is recovering. That's always the good news. But at any rate, it is News of the Day video. It is Friday. It is August 15th, and the show must go on. So, starting off at the top of the board. Detroit fans talked for weeks about Eisenman not doing anything. He did get something done today. Signs Travis Hamonic, veteran defenseman. 1-year deal for Hamonic worth $1 million. So Hamonic had $1 million for 1 year. I think that's decent value for Hamonic, and he's a good defenseman. So there you go. Damon Hunt has extended his time with the Minnesota Wild. Signs a 1-year, 2-way contract. It pays him $775,000 at the NHL level, $80,000 at the AHL level, and a guarantee of $110,000. I did see somebody point out yesterday with the money that you get if you stay the whole season at the AHL level. They're like, so if a guy gets called up for a couple of weeks, he loses that? Yeah. And I know, and I agree that's got to be something. It's like, oh, really? I would think, too, at the end of the season,
It is a really cold, windy, rainy, and wet afternoon here in Vancouver. So if you hear the pitter-pattering of water outside my apartment window, then I apologize about that. However, we actually have ourselves some news. Very interesting news. That's the news of the south. You know, we've been talking this entire summer about how the right side on the fence is the supporters. There's always been a good thought about how much some is, so it's like this one. That's just Is not going to be a needle mover, top tier defenseman. Let's go over the profile here because he's 34 years old, by the way. Travis Hamonic turns 35 tomorrow. So if he had just signed his contract the day after, I think he could have gotten some bonuses. I'm not too sure about that. Travis Hamonic is 34 years old, 6'2", 205, right-handed D-man, drafted by the Islanders, 53rd in 2008. 33-point defenseman in 71 games, literally a decade ago. Give it some time, and Hamonic inevitably finds himself in Calgary. He steps 3 seasons. He has 2 seasons, and admittedly, he had decent point production in the first one. 10 points in 38 games is not terrible. The second one, 7 points, 24 games. However, it was very obvious that Travis Hamonic was just not a good defenseman for the Vancouver Canucks. To be fair, though,
top resident in the power of the
the team over this time frame wasn't a great period, so Hamonic was just a symptom of the cause. And ultimately, Hamonic got traded from Vancouver to Ottawa. This was a deal that I think it was Patrick Alldean this time already. I'm not sure. If it was then, okay, great. He was traded for a third round pick. I remember that was a very big deal back when it happened. I was in Denny's and I had to step out into the parking lot in the rain like this to make a video about it. But Hamonic had 30 points in 19 games in his opening stint with Ottawa. In his first full season with Ottawa, he had 21 points in 75 games. Then he played 2 more years and didn't really do all too much. 6 points and 7 points before becoming a free agent. So Travis Hamonic does not really need to do all too much. I'd say he's a little bit skilled and physical, but other than that, I mean, I don't know if he's going to go out there and totally take down actual Sandy Pelletter's opportunity to make the team. Hamonic was playing in the AHL with Abbotsford just a few years ago before his entire stint with the Ottawa Senators. So it's really just going to be seen here, just whether or not these guys are going to make up caliber anymore. Count this out. Let's go and talk with an article posted by John Harrison of ProHockeyNumbers.com that talks about how Rangers' 18 selling Travis Hamonic. The Wings signed Ratcliffe and met Hamonic to a multi-year contract, but they also made him $1 million for 10 weeks its bonuses, as he missed the age cutoff contract of 35 plus by a few weeks. Hamonic, who turns 35 tomorrow, was a second-round pick out of his money. While he was a top 4 fixture out of the gate for them, subsequent stops with the Flames, Canucks, and Sens since his departure from New York in 2017 have seen his game slowly trending up as he aged. Take the 2022 deadline and inked into a 2.2 million contract extension in the summer of 23 after his first full season in the Canadian capital saw him produce 21 points in 75 games, averaging 18.34 of time on ice per night. After the signing, though, Hamonic's skills dropped to the replacement level, both for the life of the team, during which the team the sales for most of them, and a hundred struggles with the 13 points. That's during the 10% of the course to the past weeks that despite starting and filling years in the offensive zone. In total, Ottawa was outscored 77-44 and 77-6-5, and the only ones that 5-5 for the last 2 years. Given the level of possession struggles, that means Hamonic can feel leader fit, but to the ground, the attitude is instead of the captain things likely approaching peaceful territory. Jack Johnson, a veteran of the receiver among the Nazi alone, recently settled for a tryout in Ghana. This is related to the interesting five-spot that Everton's lineup. Well, on the Blues from 5 to 7 other veterans on their roster with Justice and all. Frank Sharp was a bit of a concern for them with all the people that are younger as the lately experienced options behind Fleming's more insider. But Harry presumably slots it behind both of them on their depth chart as a balance for a roster spot in camp. It's worth noting this Monday night is below the maximum variable threshold, so the good plan would not have to go away to the jump in the safest their style. Because, as happens, the drill has 4 7 contracts on the other side. So, so I got it at least in the case. Because I'm losing the ball seat.
But honestly, Barosh, you put your spell to go like a normal human being. You had to let out your inner basketball American on this one, didn't you?
Donald Trump rips his ass out. I had to spell it this way so it fit it out into the space between the words. I just wanted there to be some aesthetic to the name. You know what I mean?
Whatever, Barosh, let's just get on with the game plan. I never quite understood this beginning part.
What you mean the fact that when this standing in the back of the seat, I agree, it's a hazard.
Well, yeah, that. But also the fact that we're here on that stuff. Then we get out, but then we never see any of this stuff again. Like there were 20 boxes full of random crap in there, but our house layout never changed throughout the entirety of the game. That's quite an astute observation. How about I rebuttal with the fact that this is a 20-year-old game originally made on a handheld television, and then you're looking away from the film.
Okay, fair enough. Speaking of weird, can someone please tell me what the hell these two Vigorots are doing right now? This one is just walking back and forth. This one is dry, humping our TV. How do you know it's driving around? Because Honestly, boys, I know it's hard to apologize, but I'm sure our neighbors appreciate that as well. Let's move on, gentlemen. Our sky here is leveling up unequivocally, so these prayers should be no match for us for the time being.
Maybe not. I know it's going to be ridiculous how we can do this, but I'm going to do this to play.
Honestly, I'm glad you asked Tom. That's what we were doing. If we switch every episode, we run the risk of someone battling multiple generators in a row. The rest of this game, and it does not include Alliance. It's a good Pokemon, but we're kind of aiming to go against the grain here, Ben.
Whatever Obama, I have absolutely no reason to stick around then. If you guys are playing Emerald, you gotta get a good on.
best and better for what it is. You were right, this game is pretty fun. No doubt. I don't know the time. What's up, man? Your dinosaur. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Shooting on location in Hawaii makes for a fantastic setting on the fictional island of Isla Nublar. Dinosaurs are so fucking cool, man. Before this movie, I thought dinosaurs were for nerds, but after seeing it, I realized how majestic the after this movie. That's the funding and resources actually helped our understanding of dinosaurs as a result. The dinos are my favorite part of the movie, of course, but I was not been so invested without the excellent performances from the characters. Don't forget about Jeff Goldblum. This is the outfit to start. The monster of back then. You get jealous that whatever wife you had found out horny and she saw Jeff Goldblum. That's a rock star in this. I'll admit he was really good. I liked how he met John Hammond's optimism with his chaos theory. His dialogue was top-notch. I mean, life finds a way much better than that. The yin and yang between Hammond and Malcolm's characters let the audience wrestle with deeper feelings like